Hello, 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 and praise the Lord. Let's talk crochets. Okay, so this, as you see, is a talk through, and I know some of you are like, man, I don't want to see a talk through. I want to see you do the real thing. I want to see you get down and do it. But unfortunately, I did not record that because I did it at a time where I didn't really have the time. I really couldn't get on here and do that. So I said, let me give you a talk through and let me talk to you about some of the pros and cons, and see if crochet braids, you know, is something that you want to do, if it's the route that you want to go. So first of all, this is how I put them up at night. I put my silk bonnet on, and then in the morning I take it off, and this is what it looks like. Now I don't have the twist in. I have the one that looks like, you know, a weave, as you can see. As you can see, it's very it's not detectable, excuse me. That's this gel. I said, let me try out this Eco Styler Professional Styling Gel with the argan oil. Argan oil is alcohol free, shines smooth, and conditions hair. No flake. No flake. No tack, anti-itch and UV protection. Maximum hold is on 10. I put it in my hair. I have no other product, no oils, no anything, and it does flake. It flakes up with my hair. I put it in my daughter's hair just to hold down all her little baby hairs, and all around here will be a little flaky. So yeah, for me and my daughter, it's flaky. Okay, but I'm still using it. It was inexpensive. It was under $3, I believe. $2.47 or $3.47. It was under $5. I know that for sure. I'm still gonna use it. What I do is just yeah, before I just put it on with nothing. Now I just put a tad, a little bit of water. I know I'm getting off the subject, but I'm putting a little bit of water on there, and then I put it on there. But you can use anything to slick down your edges. This is not about edges. Okay, so it looks undetectable. As you can see, I did the invisible method up until right here. Over here I did the regular. I did it the regular way. Now I was feeling that little fake shaved side look, so I'm gonna show you how I did mine. I'll get into what I like about this so far later, and I'll get into the hair I use and all that later. So basically I just was feeling the little fake shaved side look for some reason. Like, I really wanted to do my hair like that. So I started off with my braid pattern. I did straight backs. So I knew that this side I wanted to have the shaved side effect. Now some people may want to, or they may do their little design sides and then incorporate the tail end once they do all their little designs into the braid back here, and then crochet on everything. But the reason why I didn't do that is because I figured that this hair would last longer than this little patch on the side. So when your cornrows and all that grow up, when this gets old, it starts looking better. It starts looking even more natural. Your roots start growing out. You can do this for about 3 to 4 weeks. You know, you can stretch this, you know, to a month if you take care of it. You're not yanking on it, you're not pulling on it. You know, if your hair is longer, when I'll get into all of that. So yeah, so I figured that if I did the cornrow style, that this would kind of grow out, or you know, or anything, and I didn't want to have to take all of my hair out just to fix this side. So what I did was I didn't do any swoops and all that other stuff. I cornrowed all my hair straight. I did the half, and so first of all I did a little section just like a rectangle went behind my ear right here. You can make it bigger. It depends on how much you want it out, but that, you know, if that was shaved, that's what that would look like. So I left out this much. I twisted it, pinned it. With everything else, I cornrowed it. Going back, I did the crisscross method halfway. Then I did the big braids on the back. Just like if I was going to crochet some twists or some braids in there, you know. So again, I cornrowed all of these going straight back. But of course I did like that, crossed over the braids and then braid them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 big braids in the back. And at the front, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 12 braids going across the front. And of course right here, I had nothing, because I was going to cornrow that. So after I did all that, I crocheted the hair in, and I used 2 different methods. Now here's some of the hair that I have left, and this hair was 22 inches. I cut the hair in half. So what I did was, and I only used 3 packs to get all of this. And remember, this one little side is out, and I have about this much left out of those 3 packs. And that's because I had a little slippage like right here where the front of my hair was a little shorter and kind of came unloosed on the braid. But the awesome thing about this curl pattern is that if your hair is already this curl pattern, mine's, it doesn't look like it is, but once it's wet, mine's is that kind of, I have a coily curl pattern. So all I have to do is wet it and put just a little teeny bit of gel or conditioner or anything and do it, and my hair will coil up to the same pattern as this. You can do that all around the front. If that's not your curl pattern, you can use you know, the small flexi rods, you know, or whatever. And see how some have come out in the front where it was a little shorter out of those braids. I didn't even do anything to that, because look how it just goes into there and you can't even see. That's one of the reasons why I love this hair, which we'll get into. But this is what I did. I took a small amount of hair because I was battling. I saw that some people use 4. I saw when I went to the beauty supply store, they said 4 to 5. I'm like, no, because when I do my aunt's hair, she would buy 4, but I would always use 3. Wind up using 3 if I did real small pieces. You know, you can't do huge pieces to try and get your hair done quickly. It'll still look full. Use the little, even something smaller than this, and you will be able to fill your whole, you know, head up. But here's the 2 techniques that I used. Like I said, I cut it in half. So what I did was I pulled the hair in half. So remember, you're going to have that end with that blunt cut. So that's the hair. You want those 2 pieces that had that blunt cut. You want to cross the hair over. And then if you want the hair longer, if you don't want it shorter, then you would just pull the hair down. Just like if you were braiding, those of you who know how to braid. If you want it longer, then you only overlap this end, and it'll come out clearly longer. If you want it even longer, I mean, you want to have enough room so that when you loop it, it doesn't come off. So, you know, this is the farthest that I would go, and it will be longer. But I wanted a shorter, fuller look. So of course, when I take those blunt ends and I put them together, I want them as close as to the end as possible, but not where you can really see that blunt end. So I just put them together. I didn't cross them. I just stuck them together like this. You take your crochet needle. Now, so, okay, let me just show you right, or on my finger or something. So you stick say if this, my forehead was a braid. I'm going to stick the hook through the braid, then connect it, close it, pull it through the braid. Okay, so now my finger is the braid. Okay, unlatch it. My finger is now the braid. Okay, twist it 1, 2, 3 times. Gather all the hair so that it comes over the braid. Okay. All right. Now twist it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Pull it, now pull it through that loop and tighten it. Okay. And that's how I did it. I used smaller pieces of hair. So that's how I did it. It's not going anywhere. So that's how I did it everywhere besides the middle. As you can see, I think, yeah. So when I wanted to wear kind of like a short little cute, I'm going to get into how we style this. It doesn't want to look like this. I put some water and stuff. So the middle, I wanted it to be a little less detectable. See, when it's up like that, you can't really see. So if I wanted to wear it in the middle, I wanted it to look undetectable. So from here to here, all the way over here, I did the invisible method. Now this is how you do the invisible method. You take the hair, you want to take a small piece, okay? Now this is a little bit tedious, it takes some time, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be like, wow, that was it. Take it again, like I said, pull it into those blunt end pieces. That's where you want to wrap it, because you want the coily little cute part to be at the end, okay? So like I said, I did mine shorter, so I have as less of that showing as possible. I have it shorter. So I did like this. I put them together like I showed you. Let me show you on my hair. Okay. Put it through the braid. In this case, there is really, put it through the, sorry, let me just get it in there. Okay. Put it through the braid. Put the hair on. Close the latch. Pull it through. Now, with your other 2 fingers, keep those 2 pieces of hair separated if you can. Okay? All right, so it's through. Do it again, what we did the first time. Wrap it around 3 times. Now, open it up. Now, from one of those 2 strings that you took a peek apart, take another half or small piece of that. Okay? Now, out of those 2 pieces, again, we just took a small piece from that piece, then just pulled those 2 pieces together. And now we're going to take that little piece that we have and tie it and pull it through. And that's what gives you that invisible knot method. Okay. And as you can see, I don't need this long, little, I feel like Edward scissor hands. So I don't need that big long piece. So I cut it. Right there. Okay, so now to this little spot right here. I did not do the invisible method down this part. There's no need to, because it's all gonna look curly, and you know, even if you didn't do the invisible part on this part, it's still going to, well, yeah, I would want to do, you do notice the difference. See? This, I did not do the invisible method. And if I had it over like this, I mean, it still wouldn't be bad. Still wouldn't be bad. But see how you see all those knots? But see how with the invisible method, you do not see any of that at all. Okay? You don't see any of that at all. And then some people I see, they just take, just like with a weave, they take one little line, maybe they may take one little piece of their hair right here, twist it or rod it, and then put it over top of that to blend it in like that, so it looks even more natural. And you can't even see it if you did have to do it this way, which is the first way that I showed you. It still would, you know, hide it. You see what I'm saying? So there's all kind of ways to get around it if you just cannot get that invisible method part down. So like I said, I left out this little square because if that got old, I wanted to be able to freshen this part up. So I did me a little braided design. I don't have a picture of that because I took it out. I didn't like the pattern that I did. I had kind of did like this, and it looked like I just didn't finish my crochet braids. You know, make sure you make a big enough patch to where as though it looks like it's supposed to be. So I figured that I had to do some type of design to show that it is supposed to do that. I didn't feel like doing that. So what I've been doing is just doing one big plait or French braid, and after I plait it, I part the hair in the back and stick it inside of here and pin it, so I can always freshen up this part. You can do that even if you take a little bit of braiding hair. You can even use the same, any leftover hair from here, pull out a thin piece, do your little designs or braids or whatever like that. Don't make it so longer. You know what I'm saying? You may not need any braiding hair, but even if it's longer, you can just take it and just keep pulling your hair up and go up in between under that hair, and then take a bobby pin. I suggest like 2 or even 3 if your hair is longer and thicker, and secure it underneath of the crochet so it's hidden. So now you didn't have to braid that hair into the braids and crochet it. You can always keep this little side fresh and looking up to date, which makes your whole head look fresh. So as you see, it's like stuck and, you know, has no shape and all that good stuff. I just take some water. I like to use warm water, and this is synthetic hair. This is not human hair. And I'll get into what type of hair it is in a second, how much I paid for it, and all of that goodness. So in my little spray bottle, I spray this good synthetic hair with some water. I find that even conditioner is good on synthetic hair. Like, so if you have some cheap leave-in conditioner or something like that, I used to put it on my other little $11.99 hair that I purchased, and it worked well. And now I'm just taking it. Don't be too rough, okay? Because you want to make this last for a month if you are. Now while I'm styling and doing this, now you may pull out some little, you know, hairs that have just come from out there. You just get rid of those. Now what I do like about this while I'm styling, and you don't want to saturate it where you're coming out soaking wet because you may have work or whatever you're going to, but it just helps the hair to revert back. Get all the tangles out. Just lightly taking and fluffing it out, separating it from where I slept on it and it got a little matted. I'm wetting my little part right here, hydrating that baby. I'm just gonna put some of this little cheap oil I got for $2 at the at Walmart, Africa's Best Herbal Oil. putting it right there on my side where I and on the end and all around here, around the front of my hair. Now what I do love about this, if you are the type of person where you don't like nothing in your hair for a month and you have not been able to moisturize your hair with crochet braids, especially the style, you can do that. Let me show you the back. You don't see any gaps, no gaps, no nothing, okay? Now, if you're the type of person, like I said, where you like to moisturize your hair in between, you know, before you take your weave out or your crochets out, you can definitely do that, because remember, you know, your hair is braided. So you can just get you one of those little bottles that have the long little plastic top to go in between there. Or with this, I could put it on my hand and just go in between each one of my braids, or open it up, spray whatever little concoction that I need to keep my hair hydrated underneath there. That is one of the pros if you're natural or if you're relaxed. But if you're unprocessed, you have you have virgin hair, meaning you have no chemical as far as a relaxer is concerned. This is great for the summer because you know your hair reverts. Maybe you don't want to get a weave and be dealing with the stitching and the itching and pull. Like, it's easy to get in here and massage your hair, scratch your hair, you know all that than it is with a weave. This is much easier when your hair sweats. It's all good. Your hair is going to go right into this texture. See how I wet that? How I wet my hair with that water? So if I sweat, I don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, my hair is going to revert back. You know, revert, baby. Go ahead back. I got you. But, okay. So, like I was saying, you know, if you're in Texas, you're ready. If you're in Atlanta, you're ready. If wherever you are and you are, yes. Okay. And you're a natural, and that heat is going to get you. You ready. Come with it 110. Come with it 80 degrees. Come with it 93. Come with it. You know what I'm saying? Because all I'm going to do is blend. Okay. If you get the right hair. Okay. Second tip. We're going back to when you put them in. You see how fake that looks? How that looks nothing like this. This looks straight up like this is my hair. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have that shine that this one has. It's kind of, you know, just pulled apart. And you get that from, again, like I said, it may be tedious. Don't go through just putting big hunks in, because you're going to use more hair or more packs than you would need to. And then on top of that, you're going to have to go through and be, you know, plucking and pulling them apart to get this really natural, you know, look. So what you do is, like I said, pull as little as you can away, and it comes apart so easily. Like I said, I'll show you the hair. Then when you pull this apart again, that's how you get that really natural look. Do you see that? So I just had to add that tip in there. And when you put it together, look how natural that's gonna look. This don't look natural. That look like track. That looks natural, okay? So that's another reason why you take those little pieces. You may be like, these little pieces all over your head. You know, I did use some bigger ones, but I sat there. It doesn't take you long, because curly hair gets full fast. You saw how much I use. You know what I'm saying? It's not as much as it's not as much, you know, as it seems. Especially in the front, you want to do those. I did some a little bigger, like in the back, but I'm telling you, it's gonna pay off. So anyway, you see how it's already, like I said, when you catch some of those little I like some of the frizzies as long as they're not crazy, because it makes it look really natural. So already I've had this in for a week, and you know, that's okay. That's about it. But you saw how after doing it with that water, just warm water, lukewarm water, that's the only time you should be lukewarm is when you're okay. Anyway, so I took some of that lukewarm water, and see how already it's just getting big and filling, and you know, now my shape is, you know, here and all that good stuff. This my shape is back. So like I said, with that I left that little part out. Now if it was already braided, you know what I would do is okay, I'm just doing a regular, and I'm not even gonna plait it all the way to the end. See how my hair, that looks just like this hair. That's my hair with none of this hair mixed in. And that's just wet. See how it looks just like this. Okay. I just did a plait. Now I'm going to part it. Put it back here. All I need is one bobby pin really. But to really secure it, I'm just going to put one right there towards the end. And one right here towards the front. Pull the hair back over, and there we go. I have the illusion of the shade side, or just pull it back. Okay, now what I like to do is pull a little piece. It's not pull a little piece, put a little water on my hand, and let my little natural curl pop out. Okay, and boom. Let me show y'all. See? All right. Do that. And then if you want the extra crispiness, get a little flaky right now. I go right in within the top. And just, if you just want to clean some, you know, you're like, I ain't cleaning up nothing. Just leave everything on natural. But yeah, if you want to just clean it up a little bit, and this gel will just make your normal little wave pattern and curl pattern pop out as well, which is even better. And you can even go over here as well. You know what I'm saying? I need to do that. That just went ahead, and you get your toothbrush or whatever you use. I usually have a toothbrush that's in here somewhere, and I'm just taking it, and I like when it's really nothing done and it kind of does its own thing like that, and then I start to shape anymore. If I want to kind of pull this up more, I'll take a bobby pin and put it up there if need be. But I'll just kind of play with it. Okay. See that? That's the invisible method where you can't see any of that. Okay, so it was a TT30. So basically this is what I have in my hair. The brand is the Shake and Go. It's the Freetress braid, and it is the Water Wave, and it's 22 inches. And I got the color number 2. It's the same type Water Wave, 22 inches. It was just the color number 2. So it's the same brand. And I got 1 pack of TT30. Now the thing about TT30 is it was only like 4 of these that had the color on the bottom. I thought it was more because I was going to have the whole top with this color on it. But when I realized it was only 3 of these in that pack. So if you're looking for, see how hers is very misleading. I thought that it was going to be like that, where it was dark at the top and that color at the back, but only, like I said, about 4 of these had that color on the very end. So everything else was black. That's why I just spread it sporadically, you know, throughout there. And did that. But the other kinds, the same exact brand, Freetress, water wave, 22 inches, but it's just the color number 2. So it says that it is for the crochet, latch, and latch hook. So again, water wave hair. At my local beauty supply store, it was $6.95. Different places, different prices. It was $6.95. Like I said, I got 3 packs. I showed you how much was left, which is good, because when something slips or during the day, you see where you could have filled out more. You know, this was not a one-day process. I saw where I could have filled out more and filled out more. I saw where I needed to kind of cut it some more. I cut it some more. I did not, another thing, I did not fill in the whole back a lot. So if you get 3 packs, just know, maybe you should get 4, and you may use 3.5. It is some, you can't tell, but it's some big gaps in, like, the bottom, not the very nape of my neck, but like here's the nape of my neck, and then here's that little gap across the bottom half of my head, across the nape. I space that out very sporadically, because I know with curly hair it gets big, it gets full, and I wanted it to look very natural but not moppy like. So I know that when you're pulling those little hairs out, and as it gets fuller and bigger. So I did not it's a lot that is not filled in, but you can't tell, because the curly hair gets so big. So I was very sparing back here. I just kept doing enough to where as though I saw it full, and then got real around the middle part of my hair, around the sides, the middle part of my hair, and the whole crown is kind of falling over everything and giving it that fullness. And it's you know, it looks very natural, okay? So that's another thing that I should have added in there. If you do and try to fill in from the back to the front, every single space, you're gonna need about 4 to 5, to maybe even going into 6 packs or something like that. I wanted it to look thinner down here, even though it's full.